Welcome into In The Slant. Today, this episode is being filmed on January 3rd, 2:27 p.m. And as always, I'm joined by Dustin, joined by Jared. The full crew is back together. Last time we filmed, we did not have Jared, so I'm glad to have you back. And we're ready for this new year. It's the first episode of the brand new year, and there's a lot to be excited about. And we're just really hoping to grind out this year and have such a good year and talking about football and all sorts of things and having more fun. So
and just switching it up, making it more interesting, not just keep on doing. I mean, obviously the off season's coming up, so we're gonna be doing a lot of rumors and stuff like that, which will make it interesting. But instead of just doing week overview, week predictions, we want to keep on spicing it up and start being a little bit different than everybody.
Yeah, because we kind of all had a discussion that we were kind of milking it eventually,
yeah, and burn out on
we had to move on from that.
Exactly. But. So during the last episode or of us not filming, we were talking about it like, man, we're kind of milking the same thing over and over again. So we're excited to switch it up. So today we have done that. We have a lot to talk about. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna have some more implementing things, and I want to get you guys more involved. I have a community question of the week involved today, so there's a lot to be excited about. So I hope you guys stick around for this one. But before we get into anything today, obviously something that needs to be addressed is the whole Damar Hamlin situation. There's really nothing more than I can say, and then any of us can say, really, just hopes and prayers that that man is going to be okay. It's bigger than football, and it's just such an unfortunate situation to see. I think the NFL handled it the best they could last night, and like I said, hope and prayers. We're not going to speculate even further. That was the one mention I wanted to have of that, and now we're going to just talk about Week 17 other than Monday Night Football. After Week 17, I want to, field the emotions here. I mean, how are you guys feeling after Week 17? I know exactly how I'm feeling. I have a lot to say once we get to my Commanders. I do. Trust me, I have a lot to say there. You guys hear a weekly rant on me about that, but how are you guys feeling? Before I go through these games and scores, I think I can speak for all of us. I don't think any of us are feeling good. I don't know about. I can say for Dustin because his team is already in the position not to go to the playoffs. Maybe Jared Stidham is him. I mean,
we'll talk about it later when we get to the game.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about the whole Derek Carr thing.
Yeah,
so we're gonna talk about that with Dustin and all that. So obviously, Week 17 always starts with Thursday Night Football. Other than Week 18, won't start with that. No Thursday football this time. The Cowboys ended up beating the Titans 27-13. The Titans ended up pretty much resting everybody. Derrick Henry didn't play. Ryan Tannehill is out for the season. They played a guy that has never played or has started a game in the NFL, and Josh Dobbs. He's stuck around a lot, but never really played anywhere. The only thing I really had to say about this game is, I was playing Dustin in fantasy and I benched Dalton Schultz because I didn't think the game would matter too much. Thankfully, it didn't come back to bite me. But we'll talk about a little bit more later. But then you had the Falcons beat the Cardinals 20-19. I don't think anyone. I mean, the Falcons were still technically alive, but not anymore. It doesn't matter. The Bucs have clinched that division. The Dolphins have lost their 5th straight, which is honestly crazy to think about because this team was literally I think 8-3, and now they've just been losing a lot of games.
I mean, now it's kind of Tua's not out there, so that doesn't help the situation. But before that, in my opinion, Tua was not playing good at all. And that team with Tyreek Hill and Waddle, you just can't be making the throws he was making and missing those two of the fastest receivers in the league. That you cannot be missing open throws like that.
My excuse for the Dolphins is Dustin was just bringing up, Tua's healthy for the games that he did miss. Who knows how different those would have went if Tua was playing, and their record could be a lot different than what it is now. But,
yeah, because the last time we saw Tua play was literally on Christmas Day, and the man just had so many bad turnovers. It just did not. It didn't look good out there for him, and he's in concussion protocol again. So I don't know what the future is for Tua, but that's just not something you want to see.
Yeah, 2 concussion protocols same year.
It's definitely a scary situation. Concussions are nothing to play with. Guys,
it's even bad this year too. I feel like every player has been getting concussions this year.
Guys like Jordan Reed, who I was literally just telling Jared about yesterday, is such a talented tight end for Washington. When they did have him, he had so many damn concussions all the time, and it just obviously he couldn't really keep playing after that. Saints ended up beating the Eagles 20-10, so the Eagles have dropped 2 straight with Jalen Hurts being out. The Giants clinched their playoff spot, beating the Colts 38-10. And I just want to quickly say,
congratulations to the Giants.
Shout out to Brian Dable and the Giants, man. I really am so happy for them because I feel I can relate to Giants fans in a way as a Commanders fan where you're you want the culture, you want things to turn around, and Brian Dable has come in and done exactly that. In his first year. And we hired Ron Rivera to do that same thing to us. And it is year 3, and nothing has changed. It's just Like, we made the playoffs that first season, right? But that was like a fluky ass make it because the NFC East was terrible. But like I said, shout out to the Giants, man. Daniel Jones, Saquon, they're the future there. It seems like Daniel Jones has lessened the turnovers, and we kind of talked about it. I mean, Brian Dable made Josh Allen look really good, and he's kind of doing that similar thing with Daniel Jones. Now, I'm not saying the Giants are going to go out there and go win a Super Bowl this year or anything like that, but the future is definitely a lot brighter, and I think Giants fans are probably way more optimistic than they have been lately.
I mean, yeah, especially now that Daniel Jones has definitely looked like a starting caliber quarterback this year. That makes it less worrisome that you have to draft a quarterback and worry about that. Now you can just keep on either bolstering up your offense or bolstering up your defense and just keep on playing with Daniel Jones and keep on playing like this.
And on the opposite side of the spectrum, the Indianapolis Colts. They're just in the worst, almost worst position ever, where they tried to go out there and get a quarterback. We've talked about this. I mean,
have fun there, Derek Carr.
Derek Carr is a Colt soon if they go for another veteran quarterback, which I think Colts players are getting tired of. So
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
But at the same time, like just talk about this real quick. They're not gonna have like the first overall pick or anything, and like the only quarterback that is really like worthy of this year is like CJ. I mean, like there's a bunch of risks that could pan out, but like the only one that's really worthy of like a first round pick is CJ, and
Bryce Young.
All right, yeah, there are two. So like, if they don't get one of those, and I know the Texans are probably drafting one of them, you know, because like they need a quarterback. So I don't know, it's just iffy for the Colts.
We were wrong about Davis Mills.
Yeah, terribly wrong.
These guys were heavily believing in this man at the beginning of the season.
Dude, I thought I saw something in them.
The Bucks end up beating the Panthers. They clinched the NFC South. I think the Buccaneers, like I wasn't watching this game, but at the very beginning, the Panthers were like stomping them. I was like, dude, what is wrong with the Bucks? But they win 30-24. So I mean, they take care of business.
Mike Evans had a hell of a game.
Oh yeah, he did.
I watched this game and it was actually, it was pretty decent. Foreman low-key threw for me because he cannot go off on the weeks I start him. But I mean, who else was I going to start at running back? Jonathan Taylor.
Tom Brady had 432 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Mike Evans, like Jared just said, 10 receptions, 207 yards, 3 touchdowns. I think he had like 51 PPR fantasy points.
And Godwin went off too.
Well, I think it's his nice season having over 1,000 yards receiving straight.
Yeah, Mike Evans is one of those underrated wide receivers that doesn't get talked about enough, in my opinion, to be honest. So
definitely a guy that can produce. So
yeah,
I still think Godwin's better, but
all right, I don't know. I mean, they're both really good.
Yeah.
I mean, they're stacked at wide receiver. We know that. Chiefs end up beating the Broncos 27-24. This was the first week without Nathaniel Hackett, and the Broncos kind of had a chance to win it at the end, but we'll see, man. Russell Wilson, the whole thing is next year you got to retool, regroup, and hope and pray that you can get something out of him next year, because there's no getting away from him because of the contract extension, what they gave up to get him.
And they have do they have a first-round pick?
No, it goes to Seahawks.
No, I'm saying because I couldn't remember if they got one from trading any, because I know they just started trading people, but no first-round pick either, so you're going to just have to hope you find some diamonds in the rough.
Oh wait, they may have traded Bradley Chubb for a first. Maybe. I think they traded Bradley Chubb to the Dolphins for a first round pick, I think. So you're right about that.
See, that's why I thought. I was like, for some reason I thought they had a first.
I don't think they have their own, or they don't have their own.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know why I'm saying that. I know they don't have their own. But yeah, the Chiefs end up beating them 27-24. The Lions go out there and keep their playoff hopes alive, 41-10. This is what franchises do when you're desperate to, make the playoffs. You go out there and you play good football. Unlike some other teams we'll talk about here in a second, which is the next game. The Browns versus the Commanders. Me being a Commanders fan, obviously I was watching this whole game, and it's just kind of the same thing over and over again. You think it's a new year, or not even new year, just like a new regime is gonna change things, and no, just never happens. There's nothing to be excited about, nothing to be optimistic about anymore. Honestly, especially after this game where the Commanders had no life, no energy. Carson Wentz throws an interception the second pass of the game. He threw 3 the whole time. Yeah, I get, we probably should have just stuck with Taylor Heineke, but Heineke was, I don't know what it is about Heineke. He just won games, and yeah, it wasn't flashy. I don't know, man.
This is how I feel about it, not as a Commanders fan, because, obviously I have watched quite a few of the Commanders games this season because of hanging out with Brady and being around him. But, Taylor Heineke, I feel like he makes the whole team around him play better, but he's not he's a backup worthy quarterback. He's not a starter, but the team around him plays better when he's out there.
Exactly.
And then, I think Carson Wentz is a better quarterback, but when Carson Wentz is out there, the whole team just seems to play worse. So then why throw Carson Wentz out there if your team's gonna play worse when Taylor Heineke's out there? Everyone boasters around him because like obviously that year that you guys made playoffs with him, that whole team rallied around him, and you guys almost beat was it the Bucks?
Yeah.
You guys almost beat the Bucks in playoffs. Like so, I don't know. It's just like it's a weird situation in freaking Washington with that.
I get the choice by Ron Rivera to go to him because of the arm strength and trying to open up the offense. And even Commanders fans were saying they want to see Carson Wentz in this run first offense, because when we last saw Carson Wentz against the Bears, we weren't really running the ball that well and our offensive line was playing terribly, but it was just kind of the same thing. And Wentz just, dude, I mean, there was some throws he was throwing out to the running back and he was overthrowing like the most stupidest, simplest stuff. Like Wentz is just a shell of himself. He is not the same man he used to be, and it's very clear. I mean, he was okay in Indy, I guess, but he's not a starting worthy quarterback.
Yeah, I was literally about to say that. He like you'll either see Carson Wentz retiring soon, or he's literally just gonna be a backup for some team that has a stat quarterback and hopefully don't get injured.
That's why I never liked to sign him when Washington went and got him. Period. I don't understand going out and getting quarterbacks who didn't play great with other teams to come and expect him to ball out for you.
But that's the thing too, is like I at first, like even Brady said that it wasn't all on the coach, which on Carson Wentz while the coach sucked, which I agree with. But at the same time, Matt Ryan came there and he was terrible too. So like at this point, I don't know if I blame the coach organizations for like bringing in those veteran quarterbacks that did terrible, but like I don't blame like the roster, because I think the roster on paper is good. It's just the quarterbacks have just not been it for them.
Well, I know a lot of it Brady complains about is offensive coordinator, and some of the play calling can also affect how that offense works. And
well,
you guys
all of
win
our
the
teams
games.
are dealing with that.
But like Brady was saying, there's a fourth down and they should have ran the ball, which they didn't, which obviously cost them could have cost them the game, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't really watch it,
just
but
Scott Turner situationally and Ron Rivera. And then that's another thing I wanted to say. Like the Browns win, but they didn't win. Well, Deshaun Watson looked terrible in the first half. I'll say that, and maybe it's just because he's still not back and whatever. But he looked terrible first half. Second half, he looked a little bit better. I mean, he threw it to an offensive lineman one play. But if you're Washington, which is why I'm so jealous of kind of Giants fans right now, because like they've been in down in the dumps, and so have Commanders fans. But right now, this is the worst feeling ever, because your owner is trying to sell the team, and the guys currently running this team, head coaching wise and offensive coordinator, I'm definitely afraid that they'll be back next year, and this talented roster is just going to keep going to waste because this coaching staff just can't seem to. I don't know. They just don't. Ron Rivera just challenges the dumbest stuff. He can't see that Scott Turner is absolutely killing this offense with his play calling. Enough Commanders talk. I knew I was going to rant too much about it, but yeah.
And one thing I got to bring up about this game, not on the Commander side, about the Brown side, I'm sorry, but that Watson trade is looking like the biggest L. You gave him fully guaranteed money.
I don't think we can say that until next year. I'll give him until next year.
I'm away, yeah.
I'm just saying right now, currently, it's not looking good for him.
He hasn't played the greatest, but
I give him a pass because he hasn't played the first 11 weeks, and he hasn't played football in so long. But next year, if he comes out and they're flat and they aren't even in the playoff contention, then yes, it is a worse trade than maybe the Russell Wilson trade. But that remains to be seen. I'm not ready to say that yet. I get what you're saying, Dustin.
Russell Wilson trade's still in
it's still, but we'll see. Maybe the Broncos.
But like the thing I gotta say is like I'm not trying to like disrespect him, but it's like the Browns roster is just so good, and like if he could have played good from when he came in, like they would have actually have had a shot at making the playoffs, so they could win some games. But Deshaun Watson just hasn't been what he was in Houston. So like, but if he was, that team would have, I think, easily been able to make it into playoffs.
Exactly. But the next few games to talk about, you got the Jaguars just absolutely stopping the Texans. Obviously, nothing to really say there. The Texans are going to have the #1 overall pick. The Jaguars are going to be fighting in Week 18 against the Titans for the AFC South. Which there is a world where both those teams make the playoffs, apparently, which we'll talk about that in another segment here today. But the 49ers beat the Raiders in overtime. Jarrett Stidham looked pretty legit.
But I mean, I'm not ready to say anything yet about him. I mean, next week's is another big game to test it, because we play against the Chiefs, So at least we get to play two back-to-back good teams to see how Stidham does. And he did good against the 49ers. The play calling offensively was definitely a lot better with Jarrett Stidham over Derek Carr. I will say that for Josh McDaniels. Maybe it's because he could open up a different type of playbook with Jarrett Stidham, because he's a lot more mobile than Derek Carr. So I think that might have been a reason. But the offense did look a little bit better. Jarrett Stidham was throwing some pretty nice throws. I mean, he did miss a few that were pretty iffy. But I mean, he's not gonna make every throw when this is his very first start in the NFL ever, and he looked good. And I'm hyped to see what he does against the Chiefs, and we'll see if we have something. I mean, maybe still even bring in a vet just to be safe, if because you don't want to just rely on Jared Stidham in 2 games. But
yeah, definitely not.
And you gotta bring this guy back right here too.
Josh
That's the
Jacobs.
number one thing.
Must resign Josh Jacobs,
Yeah.
definitely. The other thing is the Seahawks beat the Jets. So see, like I said, the teams that were fighting for the playoff lives, the Seahawks, Lions, Commanders, Packers, which I'm going to mention in a second, they all came out here and fought. Other than the Commanders, they just looked so flat. It's just so frustrating as a fan. But the Packers stomped the Vikings 41-17. Which, by the way, we didn't talk about the Derek Carr situation yet because we're going to leave that for another segment in today's episode. But the Packers come out and absolutely flatten the Vikings. So, man, it's so weird because the Vikings 1 week will just be so dominant, and then the next week their losses will be just so like horrible. Like, what do you?
And I'm not even trying to disrespect them, but that win against the Colts, they only won that game because the Colts are literally absolutely fucking terrible. I'm sorry, any other team that is up 33-0 would not have blown that fucking lead, but the Colts were just terrible. So there was 2 big leads, and they made them come back one miraculously, but it's against a shitty ass team, so I don't care. The Colts are either like they look good 1 second, and then they just fucking look like the worst team in the NFL the next, so I don't count that. And then that Packers game, I mean, the Packers are a good team, so I can't say shit. I mean, and Kirk Cousins always looks like this randomly, so.
Jared, what do you think about the Vikings, man? Like, well, do you trust them?
I don't think they're winning the Super Bowl.
No, I can agree with Dustin. I definitely don't think they're winning the Super Bowl. They might make a deep playoff run if they can all click on all cues, but if not, it goes to show that is this all you need to beat the Vikings? Is one good cornerback to shut down Jefferson and then a good pass rush,
I'm
or
so
what?
glad you brought that up. I've almost forgot to say that because all week we saw Jair and Justin Jefferson kind of like
Going back and forth,
and Jair talked his shit and he brought it. He brought it.
Yeah, one catch for 15 yards is what he
did the
held
gritty in
Jefferson
front of
to.
Justin Jefferson. But I love rivalries like that. I mean, it's missed, man. I love it. So
and to lock down a receiver that's a tear of Justin Jefferson is insane.
yeah, no, shout out to Jair, man.
And another thing too is like if the Vikings defense was better, don't get me wrong, I think they can make a deep playoff run. But I literally think, I'm not like trying to disrespect them, they might have the absolute worst defense in the NFC going into playoffs. Like, I mean, the absolute worst defense. I know it's not all locked in yet, but out of the teams that are already locked in compared to the Vikings, their defense is already better. And there's other teams that are competing for it. I trust their defense more than the Vikings because the Vikings defense has given up so many points this year, and they just can't stop the pass or the run. So I don't know what to expect from them. And like, if their defense can't turn up in playoffs and they play against a super good team that's like good offensively, I'd be kind of scared of them. It's like, especially like, imagine like playing against the Seahawks or something as the Vikings, like with how bad their defense is going against DK and or Tyler Lockett won't be playing, but
he played last week.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
I thought he was
came
still
back.
injured.
No, he came back.
Oh, well, DK and Tyler Lockett against the Minnesota Vikings defense, that would be scary for me if I'm a Vikings fan.
Yeah, Jair held Jefferson, I think you said this already, to 1 reception for 15 yards
yep.
all day. That is insane, especially in a game where the Vikings were down most of it, where you had to throw. And the Packers had a bunch of help from like special teams. I think they had a pick 6, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, just so many things went the Packers' way, and they're a team right now to me that you probably don't want to see in the NFC playoffs.
I think this is the best. I literally told 2 Packer fans last night at work. I was like, I think this is literally the best position for you guys to be in because like I was like, you guys always go into playoffs like super hot and like then
Exactly.
you do it. But I'm like, this year you guys are absolutely like fighting for a spot. So like
They're
I feel like they're gonna
underdogs.
get exactly. And Rodgers always plays better when he's an underdog. So
I love that for them. Chargers beat the Rams 31-10. Who really cares? I mean, the Chargers already clinched a playoff spot when they beat what was it, Titans? Or they beat somebody. I forget who it was. Doesn't really matter. They're in the playoffs, which is going to be fun to see Justin Herbert in the playoffs for the first time because he's one of those young quarterbacks you just love in the AFC. Jared, man, Steelers beat the Ravens on Monday Night Football, or not Monday Night, Sunday Night Football. Lamar is deeply missed.
No, what you need to do is give him a check and have him write whatever the hell he wants, and we'll pay him. Because, dude, this offense absolutely sucks without Lamar. Obviously, we're still missing our best receiver, Bateman. But then when it comes down to us running the ball, one of our best running backs, Gus Edwards, only gets 3 carries the whole game. And
for 2 yards.
Yeah, absolutely terrible. I do not know what Greg Roman is thinking. The dude is a complete I don't even want to say it. I just do not like him in Baltimore at all. And it's coming down to the point to where I don't even want John Harbaugh anymore because it's not like he's even correcting Greg Roman at all. Greg Roman's just calling whatever the hell he wants, and it just looks absolutely terrible. After the game, too, I don't know if you guys seen it in the press conference, John Harbaugh was asked, I think something about Gus Edwards or something had been brought up, and then John Harbaugh was asking, I don't know why he wasn't ran that much. Dude, you're the head coach. What do you mean you don't know why? To me, it just...
Quotes you fucking hate to hear.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Obviously, like they said, Lamar is the guy we need. I don't care who else we get. Lamar is the guy. We better give him that damn contract this offseason. Same with Roquan Smith. I like him a lot. That guy has flipped his defense around a lot. Like, I don't know if you guys seen our rankings before he came to Baltimore, but he completely flipped us around. I've never seen a free agent come to Baltimore and make that big of a difference. So our main thing is just re-signing Roquan and Lamar. We already clinched the playoffs, so I wasn't as mad that we lost. Still pissed though, but it just pay Lamar.
That is your Week 17 recap. It's now time to talk about the playoff picture after Week 17. We are not going to be talking about the number 1 seed in the AFC because obviously it's kind of obvious why we're not talking about that. So we're just going to move on to everything else. So right now, the AFC South title, as we know, is up for grabs in Week 18. The Jaguars versus the Titans, which is going to be a very fun game. That game is on Saturday. So that is a game I'm very, very, very excited to watch. The Bengals would clinch an NFC or AFC North title with a win tie versus the game that was obviously suspended, and then a win versus the Ravens. So that game versus the Ravens could become crucial. We obviously don't know the status of what's going to happen with that suspended game on Monday Night Football. But the number 7 seed is the interesting part I wanted to talk about because Patriots win at Bills or Dolphins with a win. Get in, clinch with a playoff spot with a win at Bills or Dolphins loss. So all they need is the Dolphins to lose or they need to win, and that's it. Win and they're in. So they control their own destiny. Our Dolphins lost versus Jets and the Steelers lost versus Browns. So all they need to do is win, or if they lose, it looks like they need a bunch of things to go their way. So Dolphins lose, the Jets and Steelers lose, and the Browns and Jaguars win versus Titans. That is definitely a lot to have to go the Patriots' way. So main thing is they need to win, it looks like. So Dolphins clinch with a win versus the Jets, and the Patriots lost to Bills. So now the Dolphins do not control their own destiny. So that is something I never would have predicted.
So the Dolphins, you said, both need to win and have the Patriots lose to make it?
Yep. So the Dolphins win versus Jets and Patriots lost at Bills. So the Bills can help out the Dolphins apparently. The Steelers, which we were literally just talking about, could Mike Tomlin finish under 500 for the first time in his career, and they're 8-8. So they could get in the playoffs with a win versus the Browns and Dolphins loss versus Jets and Patriots loss at Bills. And then the Jaguars clinch with a loss versus Titans and losses by. So like I said, this is where I was saying that the Jaguars and Titans could technically both be in, but it's probably going to boil down to the Jaguars in that Titans game, obviously. So we know what the number 4 seed will be because of that AFC South, showdown. But if you had to make a bet on who's going to be the number 7 seed, based off everything I just read to you, and if you need me to remind you, just feel free to ask. So the Patriots, Dolphins, Steelers, or Patriots, Dolphins, Steelers, or obviously, like I said, Jaguars could technically get the 7th seed. But between those 3 teams, Patriots, Dolphins, and Steelers, who do you think gets the 7th seed in the AFC?
I see either the Steelers or the Patriots. I feel like if the Patriots can beat the Bills, like you said, they got it scratched off. They make the playoffs. But I also see the Steelers beating the Browns. I also do not see the Patriots, though, beating the Bills.
That's what I'm about to say. I don't see the Patriots beating the Bills, so I don't think I can pick the Patriots because the Bills are still fighting for something, and like they should still win the games because like obviously if they could get first, like they could still have a chance for first. Like why would you not want that and want the home advantage throughout all playoffs?
And Dolphins have not been playing great at all.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I honestly, like out of all 4 of these teams, I feel like I could see the Steelers.
Yeah, I honestly might have to pick the Steelers out of 4.
Which is so funny because I remember last year they just weirdly got in with Ben Roethlisberger, like when they didn't belong there. Remember that?
Yeah, that game was terrible.
It was so like. It was like such a long shot that they would get in, and they somehow got in. And Ben went out there. I remember like before the game, he was like, "Oh, we'll probably go out there and lose, but let's just have fun doing it," or something like that. So
and a lot of these teams who aren't making the playoffs, like the Jets, they're obviously going to go out there and try to ruin the Dolphins' chances of making it. So those are fun games to watch too. So
exactly. So those are your scenarios. For me, I'm gonna since Tua isn't healthy and they might be starting their 3rd string again, and Skylar Thompson and Teddy Bridgewater having a finger injury, Patriots, like I said, they control their own destiny, but if the Bills can play spoiler and it's in Buffalo, that is going to be a tough thing to come out and win. But hey, if the Patriots can do that, shout out to them. But yeah, maybe the Steelers are the team that get in with a win versus Browns, and then well, I guess they need the Dolphins to lose versus Jets and Patriots. So
yeah.
we'll see if the Dolphins lose to the Jets. I guess
You know what's
that's the
actually
main
crazy
thing.
about it too is remember like I think it was just me and you on the episode, but I literally was talking about how like I think we were gonna see Mike Tomlin's first season under 500, and now he's like at 500. I'm like,
Yeah, it's just crazy, man. But now for the NFC scenario, so AFC, I'm gonna go Well, I guess Steelers, man. Steelers might be the team that gets its 7th seed.
You guys hop off my damn wave.
Jared, I don't, dude, picking the Patriots to go win in Buffalo is tough for me to do.
Yeah, but I feel like I don't know.
and like I said, Jared, if the Bills weren't playing for like first, then it wouldn't matter. You know, like if the Chiefs or Bengals like had it locked up or something, it wouldn't matter. But since they're still playing for, I feel like you have to.
No,
like,
yeah. I
go all out.
don't disagree with you guys agreeing with me because I think that's the quite obvious one to go with.
And
right
like
now.
I'm not trying to like be like say that we're gonna upset the Chiefs or anything, but like I think we're gonna put up a good fight against the Chiefs, and that's kind of scary if you're a Chiefs fan if you want that first seed.
NFC scenarios. Number 1 seed by plus home field advantage for the Eagles to clinch with any of the following. They just need to win versus the Giants. So any of these need to happen for them. A Cowboys loss at tie or loss at Commanders. 49ers loss or tie versus the Cardinals. So they basically just need to take care of business and beat the Giants. Which, who knows? I don't even know if the Giants have anything to play for at this point. So they might just not even really care. And the Eagles might just get the first seed regardless.
Would you? I think I would just rest everybody if I was the Giants.
I mean, I'd let him play 1 or 2 quarters.
Yeah,
and
I'd
then sit him after.
Yeah, and then I don't see the Cowboys losing to the Commanders. We might be starting Sam Howell in Week 18. So not really sure how that's going to go since we're mathematically eliminated now. The 49ers are not losing to the Cardinals. I don't even care who is starting for the 49ers. It could be some third stringer off the... It could be Dustin, and he could just hand the ball to McCaffrey, and the Cardinals are going to lose. So, 49ers clinch, which I didn't realize they haven't clinched. Oh, wait, this is the number 1 seed, I think. The 49ers can clinch a first... I think they can clinch a first seed, which is actually kind of
That'd
crazy.
be scary.
That would be scary. A win versus Cardinals plus the Eagles loss versus the Giants. So they just need to win, and if the Eagles lose, the 49ers are in, it looks like.
Guys, I don't know how I feel about the 1 seed anymore.
Why?
It's just getting that week off. I feel like it takes away from the steamroll your team has had gone throughout the regular season. The reason I say that is because what happened to Baltimore. But I don't know if every team will play like that, but still, I'd rather, if I was the 49ers, to not take the number 1 seed.
Yeah,
and still
I
play
get what
throughout the
you're
play.
saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. The Cowboys also clinch with any of the following: a win at Commanders plus Eagles loss versus 49ers loss. So basically, the Cowboys need to win and have Eagles and 49ers lose. It's pretty simple. So Eagles are the one that control the destiny the most. The 49ers second to that, and then the Cowboys third to that. So if you had to place your bets, I think the Eagles probably take care of it because I think Hurts might be playing next week because he practiced a little bit before last week until Minshew started still. But yeah, I'm probably.
But the Eagles are clinched either way, right? Even if
but I mean, you probably want the first seed, right?
Yeah,
to get
definitely.
the bye. So I'm gonna say Eagles get that first seed. Still, I think they take care of business versus the Giants. In my opinion, that's just how I feel. How about y'all?
I agree. I think the Eagles are a better team than the Giants. So like, I think if Hurts is definitely playing, I think the Giants for sure lose this game.
Jared, what do you got first seed in NFC?
Probably the Eagles.
Yeah, pretty simple answer there. NFC East title: Eagles clinch with a win versus Giants or Cowboys. I mean, we don't really need to talk about the NFC East title. I mean, the Cowboys, the Eagles, and the Giants, all 3 teams in the NFC East in the playoffs. The interesting one is a number 7 seed wild card. The Packers alive, Lions alive, Seahawks alive. All 3 teams are still technically alive. So the Packers are the one which nobody would have expected about 7 weeks ago. They control their own destiny with a win versus the Lions, and it's at Lambeau. So that is going to be a tough matchup for the Detroit Lions. Because I don't think the Lions have won at Lambeau in years, so that is going to be a tough one. The Lions clinch with a win at Packers and Seahawks loss versus the Rams, or tie versus Packers and Seahawks loss. Okay, that is just a lot complicated.
I was about to say, that's a lot
I'm not
too.
reading the rest of that. It's simply you need a win at Packers and Seahawks lose. And then you got the Seahawks clinch with a win versus the Rams and Packers lose. Or Packers lost, tie to the Lions, or Rams and Lions, Packers tie, Commanders lost, tie, first count. That is so much for the Seahawks, too. So, basically, I'm going Packers I don't even think it matters. I think the Packers take care of business.
As much as I want the Lions to go into the playoffs and tear shit up, I got the Packers. So.
I think this is gonna be the scariest Packers teams we're gonna see in playoffs, so they can get in there.
Yeah, no, I honestly really, really like the Packers getting in.
If the Packers get in, low key, they're like my second or third favorite to go all the way.
Obviously, if the Packers don't win, then obviously not between the Seahawks and Lions. I'm going with the Lions.
Lions for sure.
Yeah.
I think Packers are all of our answers, and then if somehow the Lions win, then we're all going Lions after that. Because I'd rather see the Lions or Packers over the Seahawks.
I'd really want to see what they do in the playoffs.
Yeah,
like the Lions.
definitely.
I can't remember the last time they've made it. Can you guys?
Yeah, I can't either. So, as of right now, you would have the 49ers are the 2nd seed, the Vikings are the 3rd seed, and the Buccaneers 4th seed, Cowboys 5th seed. The Buccaneers are not moving because of that division, obviously. I would low-key love to see the Packers get the 7th seed, and then I don't think if the Vikings can get the 2nd seed, I would maybe choose Rodgers and the Packers go in there and beat Minnesota, upset them round 1. But we'll get to that once we get to the actual picture.
Yeah.
But
I can't wait for that. Well, I mean, I guess we might have to wait a little bit now, or we'll be able to talk about the NFC as long as everything plays out and hopefully everything goes okay with that injury. But so as long as that plays out, we can definitely do the NFC. Might have to wait a little bit on the full AFC prediction though.
So yeah, like I said, if the season ended today, the 49ers would play the Seahawks. You'd have the Vikings play the Bucks, and then you'd have the Giants and the Cowboys. Or I read that backwards. Sorry, 49ers play the Seahawks. The Vikings would play the Giants. My apologies, and the Vikings and the 49ers. I keep reading this wrong. 49ers play the Seahawks, right? Vikings would play the Giants, and the Bucks and the Cowboys would play. Okay, finally read that right. I couldn't read that. Okay, so that's how it would end today if the season was over. The Chiefs have the bye in the AFC. The Bills would play the Patriots, which the Bills would stomp them probably.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Bengals playing. It looks like it would be the Ravens, so that would be Bengals versus Ravens. Or what did I say? Was it Bills? Or yeah, Bengals versus Ravens, and then Jaguars versus Chargers, which
I want us to see the Jags again in the playoffs.
Especially after they went for 2 on you guys.
Yeah.
You already know me being a Bengals fan this year. You know, I'm just riding the hot hand, and I just can't wait to see this team go all the way.
That is your playoff picture as of right now in week 17. All right, now we turn our attention to some fun because we are at the end of the season. So I want to go ahead. I listed off 8 stat lines from the season. Obviously, Dustin and Jared will be playing along. You guys can make this a competition if you want. It really doesn't matter. This is just simply for fun. And I want you guys at home to play along too to see if you can guess these. So like I said, I have 8 stat lines from this season. Really good ones, obviously. And I want you to try to give me the player that it was. I'm going to list off exactly the stat line and who they were playing. And then you tell me who you think it was.
So this is their stat line versus the team they played.
Yeah.
Okay.
For individual player. So we're gonna start off number 1.
Real quick, are we getting any hints?
No
Let's
hints.
Let's start off rough at the beginning. So hard.
Okay. If you guys can't guess it at all, then maybe I'll give you.
Okay.
a hint.
Okay.
How about that?
Yeah.
All right. So number 1, 3 receptions, 171 yards, 2 touchdowns. This came versus the Steelers.
Now, real quick, are we each getting one guess each, or are we just rapid firing?
Jamar Chase.
It was not Jamar Chase.
Justin Jefferson?
No.
Tyreek Hill.
Nope.
Jalen Waddle?
Nope. He was in the AFC. It's in the AFC East division. This guy plays for the
Stephon Diggs.
Nope. Very close.
Oh, Gabe Davis?
Yes, Gabe Davis.
I'm not good with AFC East and like AFC, like, you know, when you name the divisions, I have a hard time.
To think at the top of your head. But yeah, Gabe Davis, 3 receptions, 170 yards, 2 touchdowns.
All right, remember your points.
Jared's got 1. Like I said, you guys want to make a competition, you're more than welcome to.
Instead of saying, okay, never mind, go ahead.
No, I want you guys to just rapid fire because, like I said, it's hard to even guess. You guys couldn't even get it at first, which, like I said, this is tough.
Don't even give us a hint on the division no more because Dustin knows it better than me.
No division help?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dustin knows it better than me.
Okay. All right, second one. 22 attempts, 153 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 receptions.
Joe Mixon.
I didn't have to finish it. Joe Mixon. It was Joe Mixon. He had 4 receptions for 58 yards, 1 touchdown versus the Panthers. And I remember this heavily because I was playing against him in fantasy this week when he did this, when he dropped 50 on my head. So
didn't David have him at the time?
Yeah, David had him, and that, you know, Dustin did have him at one point, but yeah. So that was a interesting stat line. That sucked for me that week. All right, next one. Since you got Jared's got 2 on you.
Oh, another hot chip for you.
Third one. 33 attempts, 229 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, 6 receptions, 74 yards. This came versus the Seahawks.
Josh Jacobs.
I was literally gonna say that. I was going to say that, but
That
I
was
didn't
in the
wanna spit it
overtime
out.
win. Josh Jacobs absolutely went off, and we have him on our table right here. So shout out.
Damn it! I should have
Of
said
course,
it.
I'm gonna get that one right.
Peyton,
Damn.
I was like trying not to smile because I'm like Dustin should know this one. So
Yeah, right when you said the receiving yard, I was like, yeah, Jacobs and stuff.
How many you got?
1.
Dustin got 1.
You still got like 5 more.
Which I should have made this an odd number, but whatever. So if it's tied at the end. All right, this one I think you guys are gonna struggle with this one. So here's my number 4. 2 attempts, 68 rushing yards, 9 receptions, 116 yards, 2 touchdowns. This came against Washington.
Damian Hilliard.
Hilliard or Hilliard?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying Damian Lillard. I was
No.
like, oh, no,
I don't
it was
know
not
his
him.
last name.
It was not Damian Hilliard.
And you said it was against.
It was against Washington.
It's a
Barkley.
No.
wait. Say their stat line again.
Okay, it's 2 attempts, 68 rushing yards,
2 attempts.
2 attempts,
68
2
rushing
attempts.
yards.
9 receptions, 116 yards, 2 touchdowns versus
160
Washington.
160. Okay. So, okay. Debo Samuel.
No, was not.
That's what I was making sure. I was like, that's what I was about to say.
It was not Devo Samuel.
168 receiving yards.
Wait, was it a running back?
Okay, it was a wide receiver.
Justin Jefferson.
No.
I don't remember who you guys all played anyway.
That's what I'm saying. I can't even think of
I
a
knew you
wide
guys were going to
receiver.
struggle with this one.
Don't give us any hints.
I won't.
So 2 rushing attempts. So a guy that would rush.
I don't.
It's probably, I don't even know if it's an NFC or AFC player at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah, at least do that. Just say
NFC,
NFC, AFC.
NFC.
That made it worse. for
CeeDee
me.
Lamb.
No.
That made it worse for me.
AJ
Tyler
Brown.
Lockett.
Nope.
AJ Brown? No.
Neither one. No.
Adam Thielen.
No. This guy is
Imagine.
a super underrated wide receiver.
Brandon Ayuk.
No.
Super.
Dude, holy, I'm blanking.
DeAndre Hopkins. Cooper Kupp.
I thought you were trying to look at the reflection of my iPad. Yeah, I got the teams back there. If you guys want to cheat now,
Amari St. Brown.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Amari St. Brown.
Yes, it was Amon-Ra
Yes.
St. Brown on the Lions. That happened week 2, I think.
Sorry, I have a hard time saying some of these guys' names.
That was way back then.
Holy, I didn't even remember. That was the last team.
yeah.
I
St.
would've
Brown is a
guessed.
dog. I think that week he had
St. Brown's
I think he had over like 38 points that week.
Yeah, he
Something
went
like
off.
that.
That was a rough one. Holy, I didn't think this was gonna be as hard as it is.
Yeah. All right, number 5. 469 passing yards, 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions versus the Ravens.
Joe Burrow.
No.
Wait, versus us?
Tua.
Tua. Fuck! I already knew who it was.
Tua. Dustin got it. Tua.
That's bullshit. I should know that.
All right.
I got Jerry. At least I got my team right. I took Jerry.
Well, when he said 400 something yards, and then he said Ravens after, I had to. Damn.
That's all good.
No, it ain't all good. I need to win this.
All right. Last 3. Number 6. 7 receptions, 25 yards, 4 reception touchdowns versus what?
7 receptions, 25 yards.
Yeah, 7 receptions for 25 yards, 4 reception touchdowns. This came against the Raiders. It's a bizarre stat line.
Jamal Williams.
No. Jamal Williams.
Wait.
Jamar Chase? No, I'm just kidding.
You said 7 receptions for 25 yards.
Yeah.
So they're a running back.
No.
How are you going to catch 7 balls for 25 yards?
But
then have 4 touchdowns.
That's why I pulled this stat line.
Wait.
I know who it is. I know who it is.
Why am I fucking blanking? I remember this.
Yes,
game.
I just can't think of his name. Joe Mixon?
No.
I know. I already said it. Yeah.
He did not have a single
He had
rushing
2 48
It's
games.
not a running back.
Oh.
Why are you guessing running backs?
I don't know.
I played against him in fantasy this week as well. I had some crazy stat lines dropped in my head.
That's easy for Dustin because now he knows his team.
No, I'm not saying I played either of you. I just played against this person.
Oh, I thought you said you played it. You said this week.
No, not this week. Not this
Oh,
week.
okay.
It was a long
Tyler
time.
Lockett.
No.
There's no way. DK Metcalf?
Nope.
NFC, AFC.
AFC.
Christian Kirk?
No.
Juju.
Nope.
Oh, Tyler Boyd.
Nope.
Demarcus Robinson?
No.
Mike Williams?
Nope.
Keenan Allen.
Nope.
Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy, right?
No, it was not
What?
Jared Judy.
He had a game like that though, didn't he?
That was against
that was
the
3 touchdowns.
that was against the Chiefs though.
Christian.
Wait. What's his name? Christian Kirk?
Amari Cooper.
He already said it. Christian Kirk's
Yeah.
not none of them.
Deontay Johnson. George Pickens.
I'm surprised you guys haven't gotten it yet. I'm really surprised.
Jacoby Myers.
No.
Dude, why can I not think of it? This should feel like this should
Stephon
be...
Diggs.
No.
What'd you say? Well, he's at AFC. So I'm just naming.
He is in the
I'm
AFC.
just naming all these wide receivers.
All right. Do I name the division?
No, no, because Dustin knows it's better than me.
No.
All right, name the division. Go.
AFC West.
Cortland Sutton.
Nope.
Devontae Adams.
Nope.
Um,
Why would he do that? Gets his own team.
MVS.
I'm not even thinking about. I'm just naming these dudes now.
No.
Watkins.
It was against the Raiders. No.
They're. Oh, never mind.
It was a primetime game.
It was against who?
It was a primetime game.
Wait.
Kadarius Toney. I know he did not.
You guys have named everybody but this one dude.
What's his fucking name? DeAndre Carter.
No.
Should he just give it to us?
No.
Josh Palmer.
It's too obvious for you guys not to get it.
Dude, we named literally everyone.
No, you haven't.
Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Idiot, dude. Gordon, what the fuck? I was only thinking wide receiver. I'm a fucking idiot.
That is freaking funny.
Dustin.
I was surprised it took you guys named every Chiefs weapon besides Kelsey.
I was just only
Yeah,
thinking
now
receiver.
I do remember that game too, because you were playing against him, and I remember you almost lost. Cause
I was so mad. That's
So Jared's at 4.
Dusty, you were literally here to watch the Raiders
Yeah,
melt in that game.
Yeah, because he wasn't getting no yards, but targeted every time in the end zone. I remember that.
Dude, I was just thinking receiver.
All right, this one will be
Yeah.
kind of tough for y'all as well. Then the last one will probably be easy. I think both y'all will get it. But this one, 11 receptions, 162 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. This came against the Titans. Because I think you guys are going to struggle with this one a lot, it was not that long ago. I'll say that.
I mean, AJ Brown.
Mike Williams.
AJ Brown.
No.
Keenan
Devontae
Allen.
Adams, or
No.
not Devontae Adams, but Devonta Smith.
Nope. This player is in.
It wasn't AJ Brown. I know he
AFC
went-
too, right?
He's in AFC.
He went off against his former team. You guys remember that though?
Yeah.
Jamar Chase,
It was not Jamar
and
Chase.
they're playing the Titans.
They were playing against the Titans.
I'm
Stephon
trying to
Diggs.
No.
remember who. Oh, freaking
You can have.
Wait, say the stat line again.
11 receptions, 162
Justin
receiving
Jefferson.
yards, 2 touchdowns
I keep
versus
saying
Tennessee.
Juju.
No.
There was no way.
Dude, I'm
Devontae Adams.
I don't know if you guys are going to get this one.
Say the division.
Watkins.
AFC South.
Brandon Cooks. Big
What
Michael
the
Pitt.
fuck?
All right. These,
Pittman.
That was it. AFC South. Fucking
Christian Kirk.
no.
Oh, Zay Jones.
No.
What?
What? I was Zay Jones after you said it. So it's a fucking Jacksonville player. Who the fuck is it? It's oh my.
What's his? Corey Davis. He plays with the Jets. Still, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Dude, I almost said fucking DJ Chark. Who's the fucking?
And they're playing against the Tennessee Titans.
And they play against each other in Week 18.
Oh, what's his name? Clay or Campbell? Campbell?
Calais Campbell.
No, not Clay. It's the dude for the Colts. What's his name?
Harris Campbell.
Yeah, that's what I was
No,
thinking.
it's not him either.
I was saying he's a Jags player.
It is a
Oh.
Jags player.
Well, the only ones I know is Zay Jones, Christian Kirk.
You're gonna be mad if you.
Oh my! It's not Cedric Wilson, is it?
No, he doesn't play for the Jags.
What?
He plays for the Dolphins.
Oh yeah, fuck. Wait, don't say it. I'm literally thinking about this now.
11 receptions.
Jared, that doesn't matter. I'm trying to think of the fucking...
Okay, last hint.
I'm just thinking, how the hell is Christian Kirk or Zay Jones not
should I
getting
give
11
you guys another
receptions?
hint? He's on. I gave you the team already.
That's as much as you can give us.
You've named every weapon on the Jags besides this player.
Is he like a... it's like he's not a staple name, is he?
It's a name you guys should know, in my opinion.
It's definitely not their. It better not be their tight end, whoever the hell that is.
No, that's Evan Ingram.
That's
Oh
what it is.
shit! What the
Wow, I
fuck?
don't even know. I didn't know his fucking name.
Evan
Well, I
Ingram.
get that point. 5 points.
Nope.
All right.
Sheesh.
All right, last one. This one is super easy. If you guys don't get it within 5
Oh
seconds.
my! Dude, you got to find another one, 'cause we're tied.
Are you guys really?
Yeah, 'cause he's probably gonna catch this one.
Yeah. Are you guys really?
Yeah, 'cause he's probably gonna catch this one.
34 passing yards, 1 touchdown. 94 rushing yards, 1 touchdown.
Lamar.
Justin Fields.
Lamar.
8 receptions, 55 yards, touchdown versus Rams.
Okay, ease down again. Say that shit again.
Cooper Kupp.
34 passing yards. It's versus the Rams.
Odell. No, he ain't played this year.
34 passing yards, 1 touchdown. 94 rushing yards, a
Christian
touchdown.
McCaffrey.
Yes.
Oh,
I remember that stat.
Idiot.
I remember that.
Remember
I
when he
should have
did
known
that?
exactly when you said the rushing yards. I wasn't even fucking thinking.
Because I remember he had a touchdown, he had a receiving touchdown, and then what was the other one?
And
rushing.
passing, throwing, and rushing.
Yeah,
so that was a game out of Christian McCaffrey. That is your guess of player based off this stat line.
Hey, I was gonna give you nuts.
All right, wrapping it up today with your community question of the week. This one comes from Cowboy X Factor. If you have a question you want to ask us, leave it down in the comment section below. We'll be answering it next week. Which he asked, how did each of us become a fan of our own favorite team? Whoever wants to go first. Mine is stupid, so I'll go ahead and list mine off. So back in high school when I first started getting into football, well, I basically started playing Madden 25 with Skylar, who you guys saw on the podcast, like, you know, when we first started. And I would always play with I would always play with Washington Redskins because of RG3 back then when, you know, the Robert Griffin III was really good. And like that summer before I went to Washington, D.C., and I wanted to be different from everyone else, and I didn't know a single person who was a Washington fan, so I was like, okay, I'll just be a Washington fan. So that's literally mine. It's not that crazy, to be honest.
This might be crazy, but I honestly only did it because when I was younger, I saw like a freaking NFL like little replay video. I was like, dude, this fan base is just fucking crazy. Like these motherfuckers are wild. And I was like, you know, if I'm gonna be a diehard for a team, I was like, I might as well just do like what these two people do, and that was me.
No, mine's a little weird. I have a couple little things. At first, before I started heavily watching football, like I picked out one team, and I did like the 49ers for a little bit, but I was not really watching football like that. I was just kind of, oh, I like the 49ers, whatever. I didn't know shit about them.
Casual. Right?
Yeah. So then, but like my mom, she's from Baltimore, Maryland. So that's one reason why I like the Ravens. And also I remember watching, like Dustin kind of just brought up like a little replay. And I remember seeing Ray Lewis talking in like a cutscene before the NFL, like 12 o'clock. You know how they show players talking or whatever. I remember seeing Ray Lewis talking, and I was just sitting back just watching. And, you know, I kind of just picked him out from there. It was kind of weird. I don't know. It wasn't nothing crazy, but.
Yeah, like, because most people, they become a fan because their dad was or something. Like, none of that was for me.
Yeah, me neither.
I would say the only fan my stepdad is a Packers fan, and I'm a Packers fan. So.
And also the year I did start officially watching the Ravens was when they started their playoff run to win that Super Bowl. And right after that, I was locked in, and I've been with them ever since. So some people might say bandwagon, but no.
That was your community question of the week. Thank you, Cowboy X Factor. Like I said, if you have any questions to ask us, leave it down in the comment section below. Thank you again, Cowboy X Factor. All right, officially ending it off with our Week 18 predictions. Instead of, it doesn't really matter because it's the last week of the NFL. We were just like predicting every game. Instead, I just asked every person to have, or these two guys to have a lock and a upset of the week. So whoever wants to go first, I'll name mine first. My lock of the week, and I hope you guys didn't choose some stupid games that don't matter, because that's really annoying if you did. I'm just going to say that right now. But my lock is Jags over Titans. That was my lock of the week, and I think that the Jags will get in.
And can I go ahead and cut you off and say mine as well, since you just said mine?
That was your lock?
I had the Jags
that was also my lock.
Yeah.
As you guys, I love that. All right, and your upset of the week. My upset of the week. Actually, it sounds like you didn't write one down. So
no, mine's risky. That's why I don't want to say
okay.
it.
Mine was okay. I did mine backwards. My upset was the Jags upsetting whoever they played to go to the playoffs.
Oh, so who's your lock then? Did you have
no? So now I'll reverse that because that sounds weird because the Jags do have a chance to actually win. So that's not my upset. That's my lock.
Okay.
So then my upset, you guys are gonna think I'm biased, is us beating the Bengals, which ties into what just happened.
Yeah,
so,
we have no idea what's gonna happen. So
my upset is honestly, even though I was in my prediction earlier, but the only upset I can think happening that I could see is somehow the Patriots beating the Bills. I don't know why I can see it, and that's one of the only games that like I feel that matters. That I could see like maybe being a crazy upset.
No, I could backtrack and then go back to the Steelers. Instead of choosing Baltimore, I could say the Steelers because obviously they need to beat the Browns. And obviously, you guys know their rival is just as crazy as anybody in the NFL. So
yeah, the Browns would have been a good upset choice too.
I know the Browns were going to be out there to try to spoil that for them. So
my upset was the Rams over the Seahawks. The Rams spoiled the Seahawks' chances of even getting in. So that's
a
just
good
what I
one.
picked.
That's a good one too. I wasn't even thinking about him.
No,
It's
me
a
neither.
division rival. You know, you just crazy things happen in division rivalry game. But
Baker's gonna go off, and then I'm gonna get a text saying he's the truth.
that was In The Slant today on Tuesday, January 3rd, recorded. That was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. We will see you guys next week. This is In The Slant. We are saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Go ahead and click here to subscribe and, of course, to watch some more.